Hey mini fans, welcome back to another episode on Project 7. The next thing we've got to do is pasture side. Obviously, if you look back at previous episodes, driver's side has had its inner seal, outer seal, doorstep done. I think we're just going to be doing a repeat on this side. So what I'll do is I'll get you in closer, show you what we've got to work with before we even get started. There's a lot more rust on the front footwell on this side. We've got some work on the toe board, but let me get you in closer and show you what we've got to do. Okay, so heel board, I think we're pretty similar, might be slightly worse, but I don't think we're far off the same from the other side. I'm hoping to get away with doing the same sort of thing with the pocket. You know, we'll have to see how bad the inner sill is when we've got it all ground down and cut out, but I think we are looking at the same sort of thing as the other side. We have got obviously a couple of sections of sill left, and then obviously after the jacking point we've got pretty much nothing. We've got a gaping hole in the corner, and then if we go further down we can see the rather large hole in the floor, and the toe board is a bit holy as well. Let's have a look from the inside. As you can see, the pasture side is pretty much non-existent. We're going to put a whole pasture floor in on this side. We'll have to do some repairs to that toe board because it's looking. Well, it looks better from the top than it does from the bottom. But yeah, we're going to put a section in there as well, aren't we? There's also another bit we've got to do as well. Also, what we've got to do on this side, if you can see, we're a bit loose. This section's completely rotted on the bottom here, so we're going to have to remove the cross member on this side. It's a bit gone, so that'll also help with us doing the floor, I suppose. If we get this cut out, we can cut the floor at the right place, but we'll have to cut it all out and see how far we go. We've got a section here as well that will need to be cut out for the tunnel, but let's get this all chopped about, ground back, and we'll have a look. Right, as you can see, the doorstep on the back section of it anyway is a lot better than the other side, and obviously it just where we've got the cross member, it sort of then disappears. We've just got nothing. Obviously you can see where it was, obviously, but I think, yeah, we're going to be pretty much doing the same thing we did on the other side. Put this section in. I'm thinking, because of jacking point, etc., I might cut it about halfway and try joining in the middle rather than the end. It might be easier to join in the middle. We'll see. We'll give it a go, but yeah, we really need to just crack on and get this stuff cut back and see what we've got to play with. That's how you get under seal off. Okay, so I've rubbed this all back. We've got a few holes that have appeared while rubbing back. Obviously no surprises. We've got another one just on the top there. There we go, just one there. But it's all cleaned up sort of okay. Not, you know, no surprises. The back here has obviously got the hole the same as what the other side had. You know, we've got a hole here. You know, so we could get away with an inner sill like we did on the other side, but obviously I'm looking at this front section. We've got quite a lot of the floor that needs replacing. We could, you know, the cover, like the front sill, like not the front sill, the front floor obviously will come to about here, so we could get away with just putting a front floor on, but then we're looking at obviously some sort of patch around here, you know, patch here, you know, do, and this, so obviously
you know, we could be like looking at quite a large square here, you know, to fill all these in, because it's pointless putting little bits in. So if we go for like a whole patch there, you know, we've got to put a patch here. You know, I'm almost considering just putting a whole pasture floor in. It'll just be a lot easier. It'll look tidier. I think that's what I'm thinking about doing at the moment. I'm going to probably order that up, and we'll go with fitting that.
So our order's arrived. We have our floor panel for the pasture side. This will go. Let's get around the right way. Yeah, like that. There we go. If only it was that easy. So obviously I need to cut all that old metal out and get this prepped so we can get it in. So I'm going to get on with that next. This should be fun. I've got my money's worth out of that disc. Bit more out. Okay, I didn't show you all the cutting away there. I just showed you snippets. Obviously, as you can see, the floor section is now out. I'll bring you in a second to show you a bit closer of what we've removed, but basically pretty much most of the pasture side. I've got the I've got the panel prepped up and ready to go on. Just to sort of give you a little bit of a snippet, these panels that don't have the tunnel already on are actually sort of wider than you need, so you do need to sort of trim up the edge off the inside, but that's obviously just a bit for information. They're perfectly fine other than that. Obviously a little bit of trimming here there, but yeah, let me bring you in closer so you can have a look.
Right, okay, let's start at the back. Obviously we've already cut this section out. We've got still this part here of the inner seal with the seatbelt mount. Obviously relieving that in means I haven't got to remove this pocket, so yeah, that makes my life easier. So I'm just going to do the same as I did on the other side. All down this edge here, I've drilled out the spot welds, so we've got all that already. I've cut along the inner edge here. Obviously I've taken the box section off as well. I've cut out the rust that was on the tunnel. So I might cut this bit off yet, I don't know, I'm still just leaving it in for the moment. The toe board, obviously I've left what's there, but I've cut that back so we can get that sort of into a better state. So yeah, so we're oh yes, doorstep, obviously I've cut that back as well. We've got no doorstep at all here. But yeah, I've cut that back, so that's ready for when we get onto the doorstep. So basically we've just got one great big void is what we've got. So let's get that panel in. And just quickly before we get that panel in, that's the inside looking down at the floor.
Let's get this in.
Okay, so before I start welding, I just thought I'd show you the panel in situ before we get it in. we've got the holes for the pocket. Obviously I'm going to weld along the top here where that inner seal has been left. I've got the spot welds to do down this edge. Obviously I've got to put a piece in here later, but that's a good point to hold it on to. Obviously we've got the edge to weld along here for the inner next to the tunnel, and then obviously we've got all the front to sort out later, and obviously we've got to tack it up here as well before we put the doorstep on. Right, let's get on with that welding.
Right, so that's it welded. We've just finished doing the pocket. So all the other welding I'm going to do for now is done. I'm going to leave this front section, but I'll bring you in for a closer look so you can see what bits I've done, what I haven't. I've put some Cuirass up the top here, just to protect that bit of original inner seal that was on there. Yeah, let's get you in and have a look.
Right, so here we go. We've got the spot welds in down here. We're seam welded along the edge there, only to obviously this point here, because we need to sort that section out when we do the toe board and get that all lined up. And then obviously we've got the pockets welded in, and obviously the seam to go round where that, you know, the old bit of inner seal is. I've put a plate in here just to cover up that hole. Obviously we need to rub that down and paint that yet. Oh, and I've also tacked it in the corner here, so this is now lined up.
Right, as you can see, we're getting there slowly. Every panel at a time, we'll get there in the end. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please give us some likes, and also if you are enjoying the episodes, please subscribe, watch the previous episodes if you haven't already, and obviously I'll try and get you some more as and when I can. So all the best for now. See you soon.